Starting today, I challenge you to spend just 5 hours this week building something that could eventually buy your freedom from the 9-to-5 grind. Are you not sure where to start? That's exactly what I'm covering in this video. I'll guide you through my proven 5-step system for creating a profitable side hustle while working full-time. You'll learn exactly how to identify the right business idea, find your first customers, and scale without sacrificing your job performance or personal life. This is not theory, it's the exact process I used to build a business that replaced my corporate salary and led me to reaching a 7-figure net worth in just under 5 years. This video could be one of the most important videos you will ever watch. Let's dive in. Have you ever calculated exactly how much money you'll make if you stay in your current job for the next 10 years? The number might shock you, but what's even more shocking is what happens if your job suddenly disappears. Let's do a quick calculation. If you're making the average UK salary around $30,000 a year, with typical annual raise of 3%, you'll earn approximately $344,000 over the next decade. Now, this sounds like a decent chunk of change, doesn't it? But here is the kicker. After taxes, living expenses, and inflation, most people have saved less than 10% of that total. And that's assuming your job remains secure the entire time. The harsh reality is that job security isn't what it used to be. According to recent studies, 47% of businesses had to lay off staff during the pandemic, and the average person that loses their job today has less than 3 months worth of savings to fall back on. Just think about that. Just 90 days separating you from potential financial disaster if your single income stream suddenly dries up. I learned this lesson the hard way. 5 years into my corporate sales career, I was called into a sudden meeting on a Tuesday morning. Whilst I wasn't fired or made redundant, we were told that the commission plan was being changed, and when I calculated the numbers, this meant that I would lose up to 50k per annum based on the previous commission plan. I still remember that sick feeling in my stomach as I realised that my commission plan was essentially vanishing overnight. And what made it worse? I just signed a new lease and upgraded my car the month before, assuming my income was stable. This experience taught me something profound. Depending on a single income source in today's economy isn't just risky, it's the biggest financial vulnerability most people have. When your entire financial life hangs on one company's decisions, you're not just financially exposed, you're psychologically trapped as well. Now, you know the feeling, sitting in a meeting where your boss makes an unreasonable demand, but you smile and nod anyway, or watching a less qualified colleague get promoted while you're being overlooked, but you cannot speak up. Now, the psychological impact of income dependency is very real. When your livelihood depends entirely on one paycheck, you'll tolerate poor treatment, accept less than your worth, and compromise your values just to maintain that lifeline. This leaves what I call the golden handcuff scenario. As your salary increases, your lifestyle naturally expands to match. The bigger house, the nicer car, the private school for the kids, and before you know it, you're trapped in a cycle where you cannot afford to leave your job, even if it's making you miserable. Your standard of living becomes dependent on maintaining that specific income level, and walking away feels impossible. Now, traditional wisdom says you should save more, build an emergency fund, or find a better paying job. But here's why that advice falls slightly short, and it still leaves you dependent on a single income source. Even if you have 6 months expenses saved, what happens in month 7 if you haven't found new employment? And jumping to another company just puts you in the same vulnerable position, just with a different logo on your paycheck. So you're probably thinking, what is the alternative? The most successful professionals I know have discovered a different approach. Instead of just being employees, they've become what I call employedpreneurs. People who maintain their day jobs while building parallel income streams through strategic side hustles. They're creating financial safety nets that eventually give them the freedom to walk away from their 9-to-5. While these employedpreneurs are creating parallel income streams, most people make a critical mistake when selecting their side hustle. They either chase passion without considering profit potential, pursue money in areas they have no interest in, or attempt businesses they simply don't have the skills to execute. Now, what if I told you there's a precise formula for identifying your perfect opportunity that eliminates all these common pitfalls? I call it the side hustle sweet spot, and it's not just some theoretical concept, it's a practical framework I've seen work time and time again for successful side hustlers. This sweet spot exists at the intersection of 3 critical factors: your genuine passions, real market demand, and the skills you already possess. Let me break this down for you. When I first tried to start a side business, I made the classic mistake of pursuing something I loved without checking if anyone would actually pay for it. I went and bought a job lot container of clothes and thought, this will do, people will buy my clothes, there is always a market online. But what was the problem? There was virtually no market demand for the specific approach I'd taken, as the clothes I bought weren't really in fashion and hence so cheap. I completely missed 1/3 of the sweet spot equation. My second attempt went to the opposite extreme. I noticed dropshipping was booming and I jumped in solely because of the profit potential. And let me be clear, I hated every single minute of it. The customer service issues, the quality control, problems with suppliers, and the constant feeling that I was just moving products without adding real value. I was chasing profit without passion, and it quickly became unsustainable alongside my day job. The breakthrough came when I finally aligned all three elements. I combined my sales and marketing skills from my corporate job, my genuine interest in helping small businesses grow, and the clear market demand for affordable telecommunication services. Within 3 months, I had 5 regular clients paying me around £500 to £1,000 per month for services I could deliver in my spare time. So how do you validate market demand without wasting your time and money? It's simpler than you might think. Start with free tools like Google Trends to analyze search volumes around your idea. Join Facebook groups or subreddits where your potential customers hang out and listen to their problems. Survey your network to gather insights and check competitor offerings, really important that one, and identify gaps you could fill with your unique approach. Once you've identified a potential sweet spot, it's time to create what I call your minimal viable offering, the simplest version of your product or service that delivers value and can be launched quickly. This allows you to test the market with minimal investment and gather real feedback before fully committing your resources. The beauty of finding your side hustle sweet spot is how dramatically it reduces the time needed to reach profitability. When you align these 3 factors, you can make significant progress with just 5 to 10 focus hours per week. That's the equivalent of one evening after work and part of your weekend, completely manageable alongside your full-time job. Listen guys, if you're enjoying this video, please give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. For me to keep creating this content, I need you to subscribe and be engaged. So like, subscribe, and leave me a comment below. Those 5-10 hours a week can be the difference between a hobby that occasionally brings in some cash and a legitimate business that completely replaces your salary. Let me show you the exact system that separates successful side hustlers from those who remain perpetually stuck in the making a few $100s a month zone. What I'm about to share with you is a 5-step system that transforms your limited evening and working hours into a pathway to financial freedom. Here's why this matters. 63% of side hustlers never progress beyond $500 per month. And now it's not because they're not working hard enough, it's because they're missing the structured progression that turns spare time activities into scalable businesses. Now, most people get stuck permanently at step 2 or step 3 of this process, never reaching their income replacement potential because they're tackling these steps in the wrong order. Let's break down each milestone you need to hit. Step 1 is the first sale milestone. This is about validating your idea by getting anyone to pay you anything. Don't wait until your offering is perfect. That's a common trap. Instead, create what I call minimal viable service that solves one specific problem. Then reach out directly to 10 potential customers with a personalized message explaining how you can help them. Aim to secure this first paying client within 30 days. Remember, the goal isn't to make significant money yet, it's to prove your concept has market value. Now, step 2 is the consistency milestone. Once you've made your first sale, you need systems to deliver reliably while juggling your full-time job. This is where time blocking becomes really essential. Dedicate specific windows in your schedule, maybe 6 to 8 AM before work or Tuesday and Thursday evenings, exclusively for your side hustle. Create templates for common tasks and build a simple client management system, even if it's just a spreadsheet. The goal is to reach 3 to 5 clients or consistently monthly sales within 90 days. Step 3 is the replacement income milestone. This is where you need to think differently about scaling. With limited time, the key is increasing your income per hour, not just working more hours. Look for opportunities to create high-ticket offerings, bundle services, or introduce recurring revenue models. Focus on the 20% of activities that generate 80% of your results. Your target should be reaching 70% of your current salary from your side hustle before making any major moves. Step 4 is the sustainability milestone, and this is the critical step most side hustlers completely miss. You need to create processes that can run without your constant involvement. Document your workflows, hire your first virtual assistant for 5 to 10 hours a week, and test automated systems. The question you ask yourself is, if I got sick for 2 weeks, would my side hustle survive? If the answer is no, you're not ready for the final step. Step 5 is the freedom milestone. This is where you make the transition from employee to entrepreneur. Now, before quitting your job, ensure you have the following: 6 months worth of living expenses saved, consistent side hustle income matching your salary for at least 3 consecutive months, and key client relationships that aren't dependent on your day job. Then develop a 90-day post-quitting plan that focuses on replacing your now free working hours with high leverage business building activities. Now, as we wrap things up, here's the thing. We're living in an age where the game is changing. Did you know that 65% of millionaires have at least 3 income streams? Now, that is not a coincidence. Financial security isn't found in climbing the corporate ladder anymore. It's built through diversification. I'm challenging you right now to dedicate just 5 hours a week to your future freedom. That's all it takes to start, everyone. When I started out, one of my mentors put it perfectly. Start with a proof of concept and treat it like an experiment to establish demand before investing heavily. We are moving into an era where side hustles are becoming the norm rather than the exception. Now, this is about creating your day job tomorrow. It's about creating options today that give you control over your future. The real risk isn't trying something new, it's putting all your financial eggs in one basket. And guys, if you want to learn about side hustles, growing your business, which will all lead you to reaching a 1 million net worth, join my free community, the Millionaire Makers Club. There is a specific section on the best side hustle to start, which can get you on your path to financial independence. As always, everyone, smash a like, subscribe, and leave a comment below on what side hustles you're going to start while working your 9 to 5.